Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, we're celebrating the amazing life and career of another entertainment icon, the great Cicely Tyson. Then, she's back with another one of her legendary $100 room makeovers. Erin from Lemons, Lavender, and Laundry will join us live. And guess whose birthday it is? Oprah Winfrey's. We're looking back at some of my favorite moments. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to the show. We are live from our studios in the Twin Cities. I'm Jace. Hello to Minnetonka. Hello to St. Louis Park. Hello to Shoreview. I have not said hello to Shoreview in a while. That's right. And hello to the WBL, the White Bear Lake. I'm Jace. Kendall has the day off. Please welcome back our dear friend, Shane Wells, everybody.
Thanks for having me back.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I crack up. You weren't here. We do the Jason Show before the show on our Jason Show Facebook page. And it always cracks me up. Kendall was gone one day.
Right.
Just one day.
Yes.
And we got like 3 comments. Did she quit? Is Kendall all right?
She didn't, right?
She's fine. And I tell people, in the TV business, it's cutthroat. Girl, if you're gone, there ain't no goodbye. You're just gone, and this show is named Willie. You know what I mean? It's like this.
So true.
You don't get a nice little goodbye. We're going to give them a nice hello. Say hello to our audience today. Say hello to Darla and Frank. Good morning, friends. Darla, I will start with you. Where are you zooming in from? Darla? Oh, is your mic on, my love? Is your mic on? Okay, we'll come back to you. Frank, where are you zooming in from? Okay.
Lionel Lakes.
Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking with Wesson, Florence Henderson. Where did you say, Frank?
Okay. Lionel Lakes.
Perfect. Well, welcome to the show, guys. We'll be checking in with them in a little bit. So yesterday I was talking about how, and this is speaking of Oprah, this was an Oprah show topic. A whole show on how to divorce your hairdresser. Now, I didn't know, and I've had the same woman do my Fisher-Price hair for 15 years. Her name, I call her Mermaid. I didn't fire Mermaid. She just went back out to sea because she believes in mermaids, and I sent her back out to sea. So for the first time in 15 years, someone else touched my hair. And I have to give her credit. I got to give her a shout. Her name's Megan from the men's spa. She was delightful. And I was so nervous. All of you can relate. If you've ever switched people doing your hair, it's a little nerve-wracking,
yes.
You know? But she was patient. She was delightful. She's been doing it for like 11 years. I told her I wanted to grow out the top. She told me a hair fun fact. Would you like it?
Yes.
She said, the top of your head grows slower than the sides of your hair.
Oh.
Did you know that?
I mean, that makes sense with like the mullet hair.
Can I show you the shame we're getting from know-it-all executive producer Jeff?
He knew that?
This was Jeff as I'm giving the fun fact. He goes, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Who doesn't know that?
Who doesn't? I didn't know that. Chris, did you know that? Tyler, did you know the top of your head grows slower than the rest? Jeff over there, well, of course. How can you not know that?
So what's Megan's
Whatever,
nickname?
Fantastic Sam's.
What's Megan's nickname? You always have a nickname for
I know,
people.
it's too new. It's
Okay,
too new.
it's too
I
soon?
give everybody nicknames. I don't know. But she watches Real Housewives.
Okay.
We had a lot in common. She wants me to take her to Disney. Love that.
I would like to go to Disney too.
Sure,
Just throwing
I'll
that
take
out
you.
there. Okay.
I'll take the kids. I'll lose them, but I'll take them.
No, yep, you can't take
but
the
no,
kids.
she set me up for success growing the top of the melon out. So it's going to be growing out. You're going to watch it live like a chia pet. So yeah. Jason. Yeah,
That
anyway.
actually would be a great chia pet.
Wouldn't that be
Guys,
great? Yeah.
Christmas gift
Let's
next
get
year.
a little. Girl, we can't even sell our mugs, let alone
Next
a chia
year, I'm
pet.
giving you a whole year.
Okay.
Save up.
No, you're giving Fox a whole year. Let's
Correct.
be clear.
That's right.
Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Here we go. So, I hate starting off like this, but we're starting off like this because she deserves it. I mean, we don't have enough time to pay her proper respect. We lost another Hollywood legend. Actress Cicely Tyson died at the age of 96 last night. Her career spanned 7 decades, including an Oscar nomination for her role in Sounder, which if you haven't seen that movie, you really should go back and see it. It's so good. She also won a Tony for her performance in the trip to Bountiful. President Obama awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom back in 2016. And if you don't know, that's the highest civilian honor in our country. Recently, she sat down with Gayle King to talk about her career, including, and before we roll this, 2 things about this conversation. This just happened 2 weeks ago on the publicity tour of her autobiography.
Wow.
She wrote an autobiography in her 90s. I mean, that just tells you a little bit about everything you need to know about Cicely Tyson. But this was a moment that I'm watching this, and I had to rewind it because I got chills. And this was about a conversation she had with a white journalist. Listen to this.
And so you're promoting Sounder. And a reporter said to you
that he felt a bit of bigotry in himself while he was watching the movie. When I asked him why so, he said, I was uncomfortable about your older son referring to his father as daddy. I said, do you have children? What do they call you? He said, they call me daddy. And I thought, my God, this man is thinking that we're not human beings. And I made up my mind that I could not afford the luxury of just being an actress, and that I would use my career as my platform.
And she did. And she did it with grace. And she did it, like we said, for 7 decades. Just think about that for a second. Well, you call your son? Well, what? Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Cicely also starred in my favorite role. Like most of my favorite from her are from television. But this is my favorite role of Cicely's as Sipsy in Fried Green Tomatoes. A small role, but my goodness, you really learn an important role if you've seen Fried Green Tomatoes. And Cicely was remarkable in this motion picture. Mary Louise Parker right there. If you haven't seen Fried Green, that's another, that's right. You've seen.
One of my mom's favorites, so I have seen it multiple times. Yes, I have seen a movie. It was made after the 80s.
Hey, you've seen more recently now. I love it.
I'm doing better.
Yeah. No, it's such a good movie. And again, if you look at Cicely's credits, you look at TV. I mean, that's where she really shined. And she did it all. And the fact, like I said a few seconds ago, the fact that she wrote her autobiography at the age of 96, and look at her. At the age of 96, I'm 46, and I look horrible. That's 96, you know what I mean? It's just, she's a legend, just a legend. We're losing them, and it makes me sad. Next in the dish, let's switch gears, cheer up a little bit. The Weeknd is going all in on a Super Bowl halftime show, so much that apparently he's putting his money where his mouth is. What do I mean by this? Well, the singer is reportedly spending $7 million of his own money on taking the halftime performance to the next level. His manager said he did this because he wanted to make the halftime show what he envisioned. It's unclear what he spent the money on or what the set list will include. The teaser commercials show a grocery store worker and a security guard jamming out to his music. Last year's halftime show, remember, J-Lo and Shakira had 102 million viewers. I'm curious of what, because I don't know if people know this. I've said this a few times. It's a fun fact that people go, really? Scooby? They don't get paid to do the Super Bowl. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah, that's right, for Justin Timberlake.
Because some people don't want it for the very reason. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
You don't get paid.
Yeah. The publicity is your payment.
That's what they assume.
Yeah.
You're going to sell records and music.
So I was thinking, if he put in $7 million of his own money, what is the budget that the NFL gives you to begin with?
Well, I mean, Lady Gaga got to fly in.
Girl, remember she jumped from the roof?
Yes. So, I mean, what is he doing? Is he going to disappear?
She was like a glistening falcon.
It was
she
amazing.
Just soared in. So how can you top that?
I just hope he's not spending it on prosthetics.
Oh, like
and all
he
that
did
the weird face stuff he's been doing.
I don't know.
Let's not.
I like him, but I'm going to be very curious. Look, I must admit, I'm not, like Madonna and Gaga I was really excited about. I'm small E excited. But I like him.
I'm a fan of The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Not as excited, but yes, same with you. That's what he got.
Next in the dish, something I never thought I would read on my television show. being accused of cannibalism is bad.
Okay, end scene.
I had to read that, yeah.
End scene.
And we'll be right back. No, it can be bad for your brand. Ask Armie Hammer. He's learning that the hard way. Last month, we told you this. He pulled out of a rom-com with J-Lo after some text messages attributed to him leaked. And in those, he talked about some of his fantasies. Now he's out of another role. He will not star in The Offer. That's a series that pulls back the curtain on the making of The Godfather, which was going to be a big project. A lot of folks were looking forward to this. After the text messages were released, Armie said he would not respond to them, but couldn't leave his children to shoot the movie. I say this often with these stories that are drip, drip, drip. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And sometimes where there's smoke, there's a cannibal. And I think this is one of those cases. I take no joy in saying that. I was a fan of Armie Hammer. But you can't have this many stories, Shane, that have a similar rhythm to it and all of them be wrong. You know what I mean?
From different people.
From different people.
Similar enough accounts. Yeah, no. This is the end. I just never understand how these actors and any public figure thinks they can send these types of messages to people and that nobody is ever going to turn them in for this or make them public.
Or I don't care
if you are.
I don't even care. You know, dude, Armie used like a secret Instagram account.
Yeah.
It was like Pirate 89 or whatever, the Terminator 89. It's still you. You're still putting the camera on your face. You know what I mean? I just, the camera's on your face.
It's you.
It's you.
Like God complex.
Yeah.
Major.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Hashtag Cannibal Carl. Anyway. Never said that before either.
Nope.
It's a day of firsts. And we'll be back right after this. Stay with us, everyone. Hope you're hungry. The hot dish is just getting started. Coming up next, it is a slice of pop culture we love here in Minnesota. The Ducks are back. We're getting our first look at the Mighty Ducks series. Then, how does she do it? Erin Meyer from Lemons, Lavender, and Laundry is back with us with another one of her $100 room makeovers. And happy birthday, Oprah. We're celebrating my talk show host, North Star, looking back at some great moments. Stay right there. The Jason Show will be right back.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone.
That's you and Coolio.
I love that song.
It's a great song.
So good. It's so good.
Did you know going in it was going to be good, or did you just agree to do it because it was on the soundtrack?
I just agreed to do it because it was on the soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know that I had even heard it before that. Because
had you heard of Coolio before that? I don't think any of us had heard of Coolio before that.
No.
Do you and Coolio keep in touch?
No, we don't.
You don't?
No.
Well, that makes me very sad, but but you know, there's still time. Life is so short, and I think this period of COVID has made us realize that we should reach out to those that we haven't seen.
That's right.
Producer Ted and I have a lot in common. Not really, but we have this is what we have in common. We both love Michelle Pfeiffer, and I know that you had a bad experience with her, Shane.
I wish I didn't have a bad experience.
I do too.
I got to interview her at a junket.
Yeah.
And she was awful. She wouldn't smile, didn't want to answer questions, and I found out later she was mean to everyone that day, and she was apparently very unhappy with her lighting. So when I saw that interview, I thought, she must be happy with her lighting.
See,
She's
and I
smiling.
I love you. But you know how I feel about
That's
that.
my first thought.
I don't like when the people are mean to the crew.
They also
like,
put her
I
with
can
Zac
be mean to them,
Efron,
but I
and
don't
everyone was excited about talking to Zac Efron.
Yeah.
He was like really up and coming. It was a weird pairing.
See, yeah, I don't know. Ted, does that change your feelings about Michelle? Ted said absolutely not.
There you go.
Yeah.
To each their own.
I love her. I do.
I wish I did too.
She's on my list. You know, my list of like I would pick up the ball and bat for the other team.
Even though I told you she's not very nice.
I don't know. Maybe I'll reconsider.
Like bump her down a little.
I'll bump her down.
Okay.
I'll move Victoria Principal up, and I'll move her down.
Sure.
Yeah. Shania Twain just moved up a little bit.
Who's number one?
Who's number one? Nicolette Sheridan.
Oh, okay.
Which I want on the show, because if you want to see me bawl Like,
I do.
I've now met I'm so very blessed. Now, let me acknowledge. I've met most of my idols, except for
That's
Letterman.
pretty cool.
Yeah. If Nicolette Sheridan was ever on the show, I would probably cry. I would. Is she here? Oh. Jeff just pointed to the door. Anyway, if you don't know who Nicolette Sheridan is, Paige from Knots Landing and Edie from Desperate Housewives. There's rumors she's a pill too. I don't care.
Oh.
I don't care. She could be horrible to me, and I would still love her. I got to talk to my therapist about that.
Yep,
but
I
anyway,
think so.
Next on the dish, Wendy Williams was on with Andy Cohen last night. Both Wendy's biopic and documentary debut Saturday night on Lifetime. She talked about her ex-husband Kevin and if he participated in either of the projects. Look at this.
I did invite him to participate in the documentary where he could have said whatever he wanted to say, just like Andy did, and just like my bosses did, and just like Joy Behar did, and just like Charlamagne did. He elected not to return Lifetime calls. I finally called him up and I said, Kev, you know, Lifetime is calling you at my advisement. I want you to say what you want to say and speak your version of the truth regarding the documentary. And by the way, he rejected both things. He did not want to be part of the documentary. He didn't want to be part of the movie. But Kevin never thought that I would be able to survive business-wise without him. You see, that Lifetime.
Hey, you know what? She sometimes says and the weather today. She sometimes says the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't always agree with her. She says things that probably shouldn't say. But you know what? The one thing you can always say about Wendy, she really just gives zero blanks. You know what I mean? The fact that she's allowing, and I always say you shouldn't be in charge of your own documentary or your own biopic. I think Wendy's the only exception to that.
She wanted her ex to be a part of it.
Yes.
Wow.
Tell the other side. Tell the world that how you view me. I think that's very brave. You know, not brave.
She probably knew he'd step in it.
Probably.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Wendy and Kevin divorced last year after it was revealed he cheated on her and fathered another child. Oh, wait, maybe that's why he didn't want to participate. Kevin also served as Wendy's manager for a lot of years, often deciding what projects she should and shouldn't do. Well, listen to this. Andy Cohen revealed Kevin shot down something that could have been very popular. Look at this.
Well, Wendy, I might remind you that you and I were supposed to do a show together at Lifetime with you hosting and me producing that he killed it. And it would probably still be on the air and we both would have made a lot of money off it. But
do you want to know what, everybody? Andy is telling the truth. Me, Andy, and Kevin sat in Andy's junkie office, and Andy told us as much about him as he knew about me. And take that in a good way. This place is a mess. But Kevin was my biggest cheerleader to a fault. Kevin felt as though I should be treated with nothing but the best. And that's how, you know what? Because I'm not a Kevin is why I'm able to pay him to keep his new family together in a little, I don't know whether he's employed or not.
Wow. Bye, Shane.
It's so awkward.
Shane will be back later. That got real. And you know,
like you just said, she gives zero.
And you know what's beautiful
there
is
you go.
It just glides in. Like you don't even realize the shade just drives in like slowly in a driveway.
I would have liked a warning.
Yeah.
What I'm about to say is going to be very controversial, very shady.
Yeah.
No.
I keep my ex-husband and his new little family in money.
So
okay. Atta girl. The Lifetime biopic and documentary will air tomorrow night at 7 on Lifetime. I'll be watching. We'll give you the skinny. Now, they also brought up, this is the clip I woke up to this morning, because, as I'm brusha, and checking the length of my hair, I watch clips in the morning, and this was the clip that I woke up to and there's rumors that The Real Housewives of Miami, which was canceled after just a few seasons, is coming back on Peacock. Because Andy says he gets the most messages about that show as far as coming back. It did get canceled prematurely. It was a good franchise.
But where would you rank it with like the others?
Oh, at the bottom. But I mean, it was pretty good still. I'm a New York boy.
Like Dallas was also awful?
No, Dallas is good. Executive producer Jeff watches the Dallas one.
Oh,
I
Jeff.
do not, which shocks people because hello, Dallas.
Right.
But no, it's just New York and Beverly Hills for me. I'm out of the rest.
Checked out. Unless Miami came back on Peacock.
Then I would.
Then you're in.
And I wished Washington, D.C. wouldn't have been canceled. I love The Real Housewives of DC. That was real good. It lasted like 47 seconds. But Wendy told Andy that she would participate on that show in Miami as a friend. She's like, I'll be a friend. She knows a lot of people in Miami.
That's enough reason to bring it back right
there. Oh, yeah. Wendy Williams is a friend? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Next in the dish. It's very hard to change your reputation once people have made up their minds. I know some people that really hold that. That's the hard lesson Katherine Heigl learned after she was labeled as a difficult person. In a new interview with the Washington Post, she says she's been shunned by Hollywood. The criticism came after she spoke negatively about her experiences on Knocked Up and Grey's Anatomy. People called her ungrateful, unprofessional, and difficult. One of her co-stars, James Marsden, said, however, she's always had good intentions, just strong convictions and opinions, and never backed down. Her husband says he thinks she would be labeled a hero now if history repeated itself in this day and age. She says becoming a pariah has taken a toll on her mental health, and she finally sought help. I saw you shaking your head during that. Do you not agree?
I actually know somebody that used to do PR stuff in LA who lives here. And I asked one time, I said, so tell me, is Katherine Heigl really as bad? Did you ever work with her? He said, absolutely, just as bad as she seems.
Yeah,
he said it was awful to work with her.
See, again, sometimes there.
Now, you people can change. I'll give you that.
People can change, and sometimes she is right. This is what's hard with this one. I'm right in the middle. I use her as an example. When I make the joke about Howard Stern, that every Stern interview I walk out liking the person more. I did like Katherine after Stern's interview. Baba Booey, still waiting for you to call me back. But sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And what I didn't like was when she busted on the Grey's Anatomy writers, when she openly mocked her own team. I don't know if you should do that.
Because you would never make fun of your bosses.
I would never make fun of my bosses on television. And did Shane just throw shade? And she's guesting. Like, she's like, let's be clear, Shane. My shade is fake. My shade is fake.
I know.
I pick on the ones I love. Like, I love Jeff. Like, my boss, B. Arthur, at the radio station, I call her hooved, hairy-horned hose beast.
Well, you called your bosses dragons yesterday, remember?
What?
What?
I called the bosses here dragons?
Yeah.
Not bosses. There's only one. But, I mean, there's only one dragon. But the rest are fine.
Wait for the text.
Yeah.
Just keep your phone nearby.
I'm waiting. 3, 2. Let's go to the audience. Audience, what do you think? I mean, do you think that there? Let me start with you, Darla. Do you think Katherine Heigl has a point that if she was as strong today with her opinions, that she would be looked at differently?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because things have changed. How about you, Frank?
Awesome. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, guys. I don't dislike her anymore. I feel bad. Look, if it takes a toll on her, I don't like that. I don't like, you know what I mean?
I'm just hoping that, yes, it probably did take a toll. And like she said, she's seeking help for that, and that sees things differently now, would be a different person to work with.
Absolutely. Still ahead, Erin Meyer from Women's Lavender and Laundry is back, and she has another $100 room makeover. I'm telling you, these are so cool, and you're going to love this one. That and more when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Happy Friday. Our next guest first came on her show because of a $100 room makeover, and since then she's taught us all about sprucing up our homes on a shoestring budget. Today, her $100 room makeover is back. Please welcome back from Women's Lavender and Laundry, Erin Meyer. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning.
I must shower you with a little bit of love. This is the thing that I get asked about the most when people bring you up, is the $100 room makeover, including from my mother, who takes these videos and shares them with all of her sisters. So no pressure, Erin. No pressure.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hope this one lives up to the hype, right?
Yeah. So we are doing the laundry room today, right?
Yes. Yes. So we took on our laundry room. Honestly, it wasn't super terrible. The before picture is terrible because it's a mess. I never clean up for before pictures. I just go down to whatever the room looks like at the moment and I just snap some photos. So the before was pretty bad, but the room itself wasn't terrible, but it just needed some freshening and some brighter colors and whatever.
I was going to say, because we're looking at the before now, and the benefit, as you know, there's good natural light. You have a big old window in there.
Yes.
So, I mean, the bones are good. So what was the process like of the makeover?
Okay, so the first thing I did want to do was freshen up the color on the walls. It's fine, and it looks actually pretty good in natural light, but it's kind of that like darker beige color. So I did a white on the walls, and then I painted all the cabinets sort of this gray. That's this was my inspiration picture. That's not really mine. But this was the color scheme that I was looking for. So I wanted to do like a creamy white on the walls and then do like kind of a gray green on the cabinets in the laundry room. So the first thing we did was paint. And then I made like a faux vanity to cover the utility sink because I think they're really ugly. And then I stenciled the floor and did some totally free wall decor. And so it was like basically everything got a coat of paint.
I was going to say, and that's usually the trick that people don't realize. You can make a big difference with all of these small things. And it's also an easy way to save money. Am I right?
Absolutely. Paint, you can buy a gallon of paint for, gosh, I don't know, $30. And then I bought a quart of paint for all the cabinetry that was in the laundry room. So that was $15. So it really is just not that big of a
and I've asked you this
expense for paint.
I've asked you this with other rooms, Erin, but when you are looking at your own budget to do a $100 room makeover, if people are going to try to do this, if you're going to spend a little bit more money, where should you put that bigger part of the budget toward? I know it's a pretty general question. Every room has its own challenges, but where should they put the bigger chunk of the money?
I think it really depends on the person. I think it depends on kind of what your goals are for the space. In this particular laundry room, that little rug that you saw put me over my $100 budget by $2. I bought a plain one that would have kept me under, but I was like, the little hello just adds a little character. And sometimes I think it's just about, you'll find those little things that are going to make just a little bit extra impact. And I think it's okay to splurge on those items that add a little character or a little twist to the space instead of feeling like you have to always do it so low. But things like paint, I don't ever buy name brand paint. I always color match in a cheaper brand because I think it works just fine. And so, like I said, I just think it depends on your space and what you're doing. And you'll know when you find that perfect little item that might put you just a little bit over. I think that's okay to just kind of.
Yeah, because I remember, I don't know if it was the entryway one, Erin, but I remember what you splurged on was, I think it was a lamp. And you're like, you know what? Because it was a small area and that lamp was going to be like a focal point. And you kind of based everything on that. And I thought that's actually a really good tip. Just one little thing, a focal item, spend the money on, and then go from there.
And you'll know what that is for your space.
Yeah.
Like you'll get to some little thing and you'll be like, if I just go $10 over, or whatever. So, there's our laundry room, what it looks like now.
This is the after. So again, you stenciled the floor, right, Erin?
Yes, and that's another thing that is super cheap. If you don't want to commit to retiling, which obviously is expensive, even if you had to buy absolutely everything, the paint, the primer, a stencil, you're looking at less than $50 to redo your floor. So it's a super easy way to update a space, give it a little pattern, a little character without having to go, crazy with it.
How long did that stencil take you, Erin?
Okay, so you start by doing a coat of primer and then 2 coats of your base color. And that takes, a half hour to do that. And then you got to let it dry. That's your biggest time. But the stenciling part, I don't know, that the laundry room probably took 4 hours, maybe at the most. And the thing that's nice about the laundry room was there wasn't really a whole lot I had to work around. Like I've done bathrooms before, and it's like you got to work around the toilet, you got to work around the tub, you got to.
Yeah.
This was like a pretty square room, so it actually was pretty easy to do. But it just takes it, and you have to kind of wash the paint off the stencil every so often. So it's that type of stuff that takes the time. But the actual stenciling itself just takes a couple hours, and it's just such a fun way to, I don't know, add a little personality to the space.
Little pop. More with Erin from Lemons, Lavender, and Laundry when we come back. Back in a moment. Little pop. Welcome back, friends, neighbors, countrymen. We're back with our friend Erin Meyer from Lemons, Lavender, and Laundry. Erin, we talked about a faux vanity a few minutes ago. How did you do that specifically?
Okay, so like I said, utility sinks they're just not very pretty.
No.
They work well for, washing all the things like paint supplies or whatever, but they're just not very pretty to look at. And so I had this vision in my head, like I knew what I wanted to do. I just wasn't quite exactly sure how to make it come to life. And one night I could not sleep, and all of a sudden it came to me. So what we did was we took 2 pieces of plywood and we created an L shape. And then we just redid a fireplace area in our living room, and my dear husband made 6 shaker drawers and doors. And so I was like, we could make faux door and drawer and like create a vanity. And so we just took these 2 pieces of plywood, adhered these like shaker doors and drawers to it. They don't function. And then we were able to put that up against the sink, make a little top for it. And what's awesome is if we need to access the plumbing or anything like that, we can just pull the vanity, we can basically just pull the vanity right away from the utility sink and access that plumbing. It's not attached to anything. It's basically just kind of sitting up against the utility sink.
Look at that. That is fantastic. So now I will ask you, how do we get a hold of your husband?
I know, right? Like, he's so good. I'm like, here, I'm just gonna, and we just use a bunch of scrap wood. We did have to buy a piece of plywood for this project, but the rest of it is just scrap wood that we have. And I bought one of the 2 knobs, the other one I spray painted. And it's like, I don't know. I'm like, here's what I'm thinking we should do. And then he's like, okay. That is all together for me.
So easy and so effective. Okay, painting laminate furniture. A lot of folks do this. What did you learn doing it here?
Okay, so laminate, if you know the material, it's a really high gloss, high sheen front and surface. So paint does not adhere well to it. If you just took your paint to it, it probably would scrape off or chip off rather quickly. So you have to take a couple extra steps. The first thing is you want to take a sander and you want to just sand it down a little bit. And the reason you're not trying to like get down to some base layer, you're basically just taking that high gloss off. Then you want to clean it really well because you just sanded it. You got dust everywhere. After you're done cleaning it, you're going to want to put primer on. This is going to help the paint adhere to the material. Then you can paint it. And if you want to, you can, this is polyacrylic, so that seals the paint. I only did that on the shelves of the cabinets because these cabinets don't get a ton of use, but the shelves, if I'm taking things on and off, I didn't want the paint to chip. And then I also took shelf liner from the Dollar Tree and put it on the inside to create that little floral pattern in there, just for a little pop of pattern inside of the cupboard.
Let's hear it for the dollar store. Hey.
I know, right?
Dar loves the dollar store. Hey, Shane has a legitimate question here that we're all wondering. You've been with our show now, I think 3 or 4 seasons. Here's the question. Are there any rooms left to redo in your house?
Well, what's so wonderful about it is that I moved. So it's done with one house, then we just moved to another one. So now we have like a whole nother set of rooms to do.
Okay, let me ask you though, we're not responsible for your house payments, right? I just want to make sure.
No, but
okay.
If you want to, you're
No.
welcome to pay my mortgage every month.
No, are you kidding me? I bought this plant. I mean, we're fine. Yeah, I mean, come on. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Erin, I just heard from our general manager, Sheila Oliver. She'll pay your mortgage. She'll pay your mortgage.
Thank you.
Yeah, look for an envelope from Sheila Oliver. Yeah.
Perfect. I will do that.
For more information on all of this, head to Erin's website, lemonslavenderandlaundry.com. She's one of the best. We love her. Still ahead, some leftover hot dish, including a big day for Oprah Winfrey when we come back. Oliver Top.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, here's the deal. We hope you're hungry because this morning we're offering up hot dish leftovers. Roll it, Leo. Look at that. Look at that. It's the little things like that that just make me happy. Have you ever seen that before?
No, and I'm blown away.
Isn't that nice? We can't re-roll that, can we? Do we have the opportunity?
We only get paid for that
Look at that!
Twice.
That is amazing.
So good.
I don't even care if we got to run that every day, even if we don't have enough stories to fill this segment.
Whose hot dish is that?
Thank you, Leo. I mean, I can't get enough of that. And you know, again, that cost us $47,000 to make that animation.
Worth every penny.
Don't tell the general manager that. But anyway. Okay, first up, today is a day to celebrate a TV institution. It's Oprah's birthday. The talk show queen turned 67 years old today. Hi, Oprah, I love you. It's been 10 years since she ended her daytime talk show, and my life was forever changed, which ran for 25 years, based out of Chicago at Harpo Studios. In honor of Oprah's birthday, we're looking back at one of her many birthday shows. Now, before we roll this, should I tell you the fun fact before or after? I'll tell you before. So this was a surprise that this was the first time the producers really ever surprised Oprah. And Oprah doesn't like surprises. She walked in thinking she was going to do a show about jurors on high-profile cases. This is when she turned 40. Yes. Jeff is correcting me. No.
Let's see who's right.
How dare he correct me with Oprah? That's what Ted just said. Anyway, she thought she was doing a show about jurors, but it was really a show celebrating her 40th birthday. Patti LaBelle popped up on a TV and said, "You're not doing this show, it's your 40th birthday," and the whole hour is full of special guests, including...
When you get more time to deal with you, or if you're in relationships or whatever, we're born to be... Yes!
Are you really surprised?
You had that memorized.
Oh, I could recite this whole show. And also in that show, look at Gail, who,
Wait,
by the way...
Gail?
That's Gail, who looks better now than she did 25 years ago or whenever that was, but 27 years ago. But the other thing about this show, if you ever see it, is the producers didn't know that Oprah has a life-changing fear of balloons, and she walked into the set and the floor was filled with balloons that she had to step on, and it scares her. So yeah, she put an edict from that point on, no balloons, and she doesn't like surprises, but that didn't stop the producers. Well, and while we're talking about Oprah and Gail, you know what we're gonna run here. You know what we're gonna run. One of the most memorable clips of the Oprah Winfrey Show involving, well, was it 2 or 3 episodes? It was 2 of the shows, right? Yeah, where Oprah and Gail decided to do a road trip across America. Look at this.
All you had to do today was just ride and listen to my singing,
Which is
that should have been very pleasurable and enjoying and relaxing.
cranky. That is why I'm so cranky, because I had to take in...
I've been driving for 6 hours.
I had to take in all of that energy.
All she's had to do is sit here and
And
relax.
take in all of that... I couldn't even read.
But we're healthy, we're happy, and we're... See the... Go ahead, sing it now. USA.
You had better be
in
quiet.
a share.
Okay, let me tell you, OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network, needs to put these 2 it was probably 2 of the best Oprah Winfrey shows ever. On a personal note, that would be executive producer Jeff and I on a car trip, on a road trip.
Well, clearly we need to book one of those when COVID is no longer a concern.
Did you see Oprah's face?
Where are you guys going to go?
Did you see Oprah's face?
Yes.
How annoying. That's me. That would totally be.
She looked like she was about ready to just open the car door and jump out.
Oh no,
and be done.
I would Thelma and Louise us right off the. Yeah, no.
You're taking Jeff with you.
Yeah. Anyway, happy birthday, Oprah. I love you. That's another one that I would like on the show. I've met Oprah several times, but I would like her.
I mean, that's like right up here.
Oh
right?
yeah, I mean come on. Next up, when you're a 22-year-old music star with the world at your feet, you have a lot to be grateful for. Shawn Mendes shared this Instagram selfie this week with the caption, "Grateful, grateful." The sun.
Hashtag blessed.
Now this is what he wrote: the sun, coffee, my health, my family, old Mariah Carey songs, music, and here's my other favorite: humans. Humans. He's grateful for humans.
Okay.
I don't know, Shawn. A few of them. It didn't take long for Mariah herself to respond. She recreated, I love you, Mariah. She is the queen. Look at her. She recreated this photo with the caption, "Grateful. The sun, tea, my health, my family, old Shawn Mendes songs, music, humans." Mendes replied, adding a laugh emoji and 2 hearts. Okay. Is there anything better than that? Oh, yes, there is. Because we're keeping the Mariah Shawn Mendes trend going on with the Jason Show. Here we go. That's
Oh.
that's producer Ted with the hashtag grateful. The clouds, mint tea, Buffalo Wild Wings, old Third Eye Blind songs, music, humans. Humans. That's right.
Couldn't even get out like one step out of the parking lot so the cars weren't behind him or anything.
And I asked him if he was going to be shirtless like Shawn Mendes and Shawn's. And I got to tell you, maybe we'll start saying humans to each other because I've told you this before. You know I like peeling back the curtain. Ted always says something to me right before the opening credits of our show runs. It used to be courage, and then we've switched it over the years. And and then now it's back to courage. Right before the open, Ted in my ear goes, courage. I think now we have to list off mint tea,
Buffalo Wild Wings,
humans, sun,
Third
Shawn
Eye
Mendes,
Blind.
old Third Eye Blind songs. We're going to take a break, everybody. We'll be back after this.
So good.
Sun, humans,
Ice.
a venti salted caramel cream cold brew with extra
my.
foam blended on 4. That's what I'm grateful
Is that your
for.
order?
Yeah, at Starbucks, a venti salted caramel cream cold brew
That is
with
the
extra
longest
foam
order I've
blended
ever.
on 4.
Oh, you're still going.
I'm not even done. I'm not even done.
Sorry,
Shane.
I did
Yes.
interrupt you.
Yes.
I thought.
No, I'm not
it's
done
over.
yet. Hey, if you miss our show live, and why would you miss this? But if you do, go to the YouTube, search for Jason Show TV right there, and then hit that subscribe button. Okay, ready, Shane, for the mystery question?
Oh boy, yeah.
Would you rather always be 10 minutes late or 20 minutes early? The answer when we return.
I like your question voice.
I know, it's my question voice. Welcome back, everybody. Wrapping up the day and wrapping up with the week. Thanks so much for watching. I really mean that. And thanks to our audience today. Let's say goodbye to them, our virtual audience, Frank and Darla. Frank, my dear friend, have a great weekend. And Darla, thank you, sweetie. Oh, look at look at her. How cute is she? Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. Okay, it's time for our bubblegum goodbye, and that is, would you rather always be, what was it? Always be 10 minutes late or 20 minutes early?
This one's easy. I hate being late.
Okay.
Hate it. So I would love to be 20 minutes early. You?
The same thing.
Okay.
I think it is a pet peeve with people that I think if people look, everyone's late every so often, but if you are habitually late to things, I think it is a show of disrespect to the other person. It tells me that you think your time is more valuable than mine.
Praise hands.
Just saying that. I hate that. I worked for someone that was 20 minutes that I had to schedule to be at places. She would always be 20 minutes late for everything. So I had to trick her and tell her if I needed her to be someplace at 1:30, I would tell her she needed to be there at 1.
Did she figure it out eventually, or
No.
did it work?
No.
All right.
She didn't. She never figured it out.
Nice work.
And luckily, she doesn't like me now, so she doesn't watch the show. Monday on the show, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. I go ice fishing. That happens. But right now, that's going to do it for us. If you're a kid watching, go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Shane.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow or Monday or whenever.
Someday.
Someday.